Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the potential of there being a telescope on the moon thanks to the Artemis 3 mission and plans to try and get some kind of unmanned observatory there to help us look into the night sky. For the Sky Report, we're going to be talking a lot about stars, as there are going to be plenty of times to see them throughout the week in the night skies. They're going to be pretty prevalent this week as we are kind of ending summer and moving into fall, though I believe we started fall this Sunday, so who knows. And finally, our last major topic, we're going to be talking about a huge new catalog of gamma ray bursts that have just been discovered. And some experts believe that this rivals Charles Messier's catalogs of deep space objects that he recorded back in the 19th century. But anyways, all of that and more will be covered on this episode. This is Interstellar Insights. Alright guys, so before we start this episode, I just want to talk about why there wasn't an episode last week. It was very simple, just had allergies. My throat was real messed up, so with a messy throat, can't really do a podcast. And if you're wondering why I sound stuffy or anything like that, it's mainly because of fall allergies, as fall is starting here on the East Coast. So yeah. That is that. Anyways, this first topic is going to be about Artemis 3 and potentially putting a new telescope on the moon. Right now, it's still in the proposal stages, so it might not even happen, but it'd be kind of cool if it did happen, if you think about it. So, of course, we all know what Artemis 3 is. Artemis 3 is going to be the first manned, first manned mission to the moon in, forever. Since the 70s during the space race and stuff and the Apollo program. But that's going to launch I'm stuttering. It's expected to launch in 2026, and of course NASA is preparing for that. But there are some proposals out there discussing about the potential of putting a UV or an optical interferometer on the moon to help us study more about the night sky, but not here on Earth. Kind of from a different perspective, if you will, a little bit, but instead from the moon. So this idea, or I guess really study, it's been submitted to the Society of Photo-Optical Instrumentation Engineers, or SPIE, at their astronomical telescopes and instrumentation 2024 conference, with the goal of potentially addressing an idea of building an instrument called the Artemis Enabled Stellar Imager, or AESI, that would be put in Artemis during the launch in 2026 and essentially placed on the south pole of the moon to observe UV rays and stuff. But anyways, this proposal right now in its current stage has been accepted as a phase 1 study through NASA's Innovative Advanced Concepts Program, or NIAC. Like I said, actually no, I have not said it, silly me. And right now, this Innovative Advanced Concepts is really just for testing out experimentative ideas and trying to get things work. Right now, it's at phase 1 where it's still a proposal, and right now they're trying to get it to work, especially for all the weight and all the parts and components needed for AESI, and trying to get those onto Artemis. And so they're going to try to push AESI through these phases, or it'll just stop at phase 1 and it'll be canceled. But we have a little bit of positive news for AESI, is that right now astrophysicists at NASA are trying to get AESI to phase 2, and right now this project has a 4% success rate, which is I guess great for phase 1. I would probably have to study to see other projects that I've gone through NIAC and see how successful they were, but we'll see. 4% success rate. I mean, what could go wrong, if you know what I mean. But anyways, Yeah. So right now, the plan right now for ASI is to build. Is this? It's actually kind of interesting. Excuse me. They're planning to basically organize a bunch of rovers, and essentially the rovers will build up the observatory on the moon. So Artemis will land, all the rovers go out, they'll form AESI, and then they'll start picking up UV information to send back to NASA here on Earth. And yeah, they're trying to get it worked out, trying to get it to essentially fit within the dimensions of Artemis 3. If not, the whole project is going to be bust. But either way, NIAC, NASA's Innovative Advanced Concepts Program, it's been known to successfully advance technology for these missions, and hopefully it can do so for AESI, especially for technologies in aerospace, in the aerospace industry of the economy right now. So, hopefully that will be true. And all we know right now for AESI and the plans to put some kind of UV or optical interferometer on the moon is right now going through, of course, proposals and stuff. And of course, being led by that is AESI. And right now they're trying to get it to phase 2, which is really, all I've got. Of course, excuse me, NASA will kind of keep us in the loop about what is going on with AESI. If it gets moved on to phase 2 or if it gets canceled, we will never know. But until then, it's still a proposal, and when that will happen, of course, we'll do some follow-up segment regarding ASI. So yeah, that is everything regarding a potential plan to put a telescope on the moon. Let's go move over to this week's Sky Report now. Alright guys, so let's get into this week's Sky Report. It's actually the first Sky Report of fall. I believe fall started this Sunday, I believe. I don't know. But all I know is we're in fall now, so, if you're living in the northern hemisphere, expect the usual, losing sunlight. Sun's going to set down much earlier in the day, mainly around 6ish to 5, compared to like 8 or 9, like how it would be in the summer. And then, of course, this is vice versa for those living in the southern hemisphere in places like, South America and Australia, where it will be the opposite, and they'll be actually pretty warm, as it'll get very cold here in the mid-Atlantic region of America. So yeah, so we got the Sky Report for this week. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of stars mainly, and some galaxies. We can never get enough of those. So anyways, the 25th, which is today, there's actually nothing really happening in the sky, but some notable stuff that happened in the morning is that the moon passed 5 degrees north of Mars at 8 in the morning, as it can be, it was spotted in the early morning sky, and it was seen to be 65 degrees high in the horizon. So yeah, that's kind of what happened in the morning today. Nothing much. But tomorrow, the 26th, Thursday, is where things are going to start picking up a little bit, as Altair will be shining in the Summer Triangle asterism at a magnitude of 0.8. That's right, you heard me right. The Summer Triangle asterism is here, even though it's fall. I don't know. The cosmos do not obey these seasons on Earth. I will tell you that right now. But anyways, some other stars to note that are going to be in the night sky are going to be Delta Aquila, which will be shining at a magnitude of 3, which will be to the lower right of Altair in the night sky. And if you're looking from Delta Aquila, if you look just about 4 degrees west southwestish, there will be a star cluster, which is the Wild Duck Cluster, which is actually one of the better names for a celestial object in astronomy, which I am very thankful for. So yeah, I guess I did forget to mention there are some star clusters. There's a lot of more heavenly celestial bodies, more stars and galaxies tonight. But anyways, Friday, we got a galaxy. So the third brightest galaxy in the local group. So, the group of galaxies, our galaxy, the Milky Way, and Andromeda that are part of it. It's part of that, but it's the third brightest after, like I said, the Milky Way and Andromeda. It's going to be the Triangular Galaxy. and the triangular galaxy will be shining at a magnitude of 5.7, and it can be found. That's a grammar issue. It can be found about 3 degrees southeast of the star of Merak. Merak. I think I'm going to say Merak. That sounds more better. Merak, which is going to be the southeastern star of the W formation in Cassiopeia and Cassiopeia stars. So yeah, that is what is happening Friday with the triangular galaxy, which is cool. So anyways, we'll tell you your times. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but all times are in Eastern Daylight Time. So, if you live in, like, I don't know, Illinois, figure it out, whatever, California. I don't care. All my East Coast people won't, on top Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight. Anyways, today, sunset's going to occur at 6:51 p.m. Moonset's going to occur at 3:36 p.m. And yeah, those are the times for today. And tomorrow, Thursday, sunrise is going to occur at 6:52 a.m. Sunset's going to be at 6:49 p.m. Moonrise is going to be at 12:32 a.m. And moonset's going to be at 4:17 p.m. For Friday, 27th, sunrise is going to be at 6:53 a.m. Sunset's going to be at 6:48 p.m. Moonrise is going to be at 1:38 a.m. And the moonset's going to be at 4:50 p.m. And the phase that's occurring throughout the week, waning crescent. So yeah, that'll be what will be the phase for the moon. So I mean, yeah, as we're kicking in the fall, at least here on the in the northern hemisphere, and me in the East Coast, Mid Atlantic area, moon is starting to set a little bit earlier. So we're not set, not the moon set, sunset. Sorry. Just by a matter of a couple of minutes, it'll, set a little bit earlier as we, approach the fall. And of course, it'll start setting earlier and earlier until the winter solstice, at which point it'll start, what am I thinking? The sun will start appearing out longer and longer, very, very gradually. So yeah, that is the Sky Report for the week. Let's go move on to our next major segment of this week's episode of Interstellar Insights. Alright guys, so right now we're going to start talking about a huge new catalog of gamma ray bursts that were just recently discovered. So for those of you that don't know what a gamma ray burst is gamma ray bursts are some of the most violent explosions in the universe, and they're going to be so violent that they're going to release energy greater than the sun would when it turns into a white dwarf in the next 10 billion years. Hopefully humanity's around then to witness that, catastrophe. But anyways, essentially, they're kind of, let's say, threatening to human life. Just to show you, if there were a gamma ray burst, or GRB, which is the abbreviation. English is not my thing, as you can clearly tell. The GRBs, if they were to erupt about 1,000 light years away from us, the radiation could, potentially puncture the ozone and endanger, life on Earth as we know it. But anyways, enough about the definition stuff, that gobbledygook, and what a gamma ray burst is. We have a new catalog of about 535 gamma ray bursts, with the newest one being discovered about 77 million light years from Earth. And some experts believe that this rivals the catalog of deep space objects from French astronomer Charles Messier, I believe, that he took in the 19th century. So anyways, this catalog of GRBs has been captured over 64,813 photometric observations over the course of 26 years, which is before I was born. Before, I'm not as old as this as long as this observation has been going on. So it's been, the work of over, about the last 3 decades. We've been taking pictures of these gamma ray bursts. And of course, like I said, they vary from distance. The oldest one, or not the oldest one, the newest discovered gamma ray burst being like 77 million light years away. That's not going to hurt us if it were to erupt. We'd be able to pick it up, but it wouldn't damage the ozone or anything like that. So yeah, but anyways, besides this catalog, there was an interesting discovery made about gamma ray bursts, and it was that the light does not change or evolve as it travels the cosmos, which potentially means that we could be seeing light from the Big Bang, because, light travels at a fixed rate across the cosmos. I forgot how fast it goes, if you think of me as like a physics kid, because I am, and I don't know that. I probably need to memorize that, but that's not the point. The point is that, this could be the first insight into the Big Bang ever, like directly. Because if these gamma ray bursts were formed and erupted and, launched all their light and UV rays and stuff at the time of the Big Bang, then what we're observing from them is exactly the Big Bang, which is very interesting, and it really can change our, view of the cosmos as a whole, as well as the formation of the Big Bang. But anyways, the only downside is that more research needs to be done to corroborate this finding and to ensure that this light actually is from the Big Bang. But anyways, like I said, this catalog rivals Charles Messier's catalog, the French astronomer from, I believe, the 18th or 19th century. Correct me if I'm wrong, but around that time. And his catalog consisted of 110 nebulae and star clusters combined, which is very small compared to this catalog of 535 gamma ray bursts, GRBs, across the night sky, which kind of, I can see why some experts are calling it greater than the Messier catalog of deep space objects. But even then, this discovery, or not this discovery, but this organization of these gamma ray bursts and observing them might actually unlock some of the secrets of the universe, especially, like I said, we're studying with the Big Bang, we're studying with light, it could be like the next level of physics, and, help us understand, more abstract stuff like the quantum stuff and the stuff, the real deal theoretical stuff that people are trying to find, and of course, the unified theory to unite all branches of physics. So, yeah, this discovery is interesting. It's got some historical prevalence, if you will. So, yeah, that is what we've got. Anything new happens regarding this discovery, of course, I'll make another segment about it in a future episode. But yeah, that's the new GRB catalog that might rival a historical catalog. So yeah, that's all I got there. Let's go move on to this week's edition of Astronomy Trivia. Alright guys, so welcome to this week's edition of Astronomy Trivia. So before I get to this week's question, we're going to talk about last week, and I believe that question was who discovered the rings of Saturn. Now, how should I phrase this? The answer for that question is Christian Huygens, but I do want to talk a little bit more in deep before Huygens, because technically, if you were to argue, I think there'd be a fair argument that Galileo was the first to observe Saturn's rings, but the telescopic technology at the time that Galileo was using was very poor, and he actually thought that Saturn was a collection of free planets instead of failing to recognize that it was one planet with a bunch of rings. Now, this theory kind of was mainstay until 1659, when, like I said, Christian Huygens, Dutch mathematician and astronomer, he was the first to be like, I don't think those are planets. I think those are Saturn's rings. And so he spent a lot of his time, of course, analyzing them and the strangeness and bizarreness of such a planet with rings at the time. Even I still think Saturn's rings are still pretty cool and bizarre compared to some of the rest of the other stuff that we observed. But anyways, yeah, so the discovery of Saturn's rings, really discovering that there are rings and not planets. That's kind of his biggest mainstay in astronomy. Of course, he did some stuff for in terms of discovering calculus and stuff. Some theorems here and there, and helped contribute to that. But yeah, that's what I've got regarding last week's question, and of course that's the answer. So anyways, here is this week's question. Okay, I'm about to let's read it now. What is the brightest star in the night sky? I'm going to say this again. What is the brightest star in the night sky? I'll let you think about that for a second. Anyways, I will put out a poll on that for YouTube and Spotify, so wherever you're listening to, you can easily access the poll. So yeah, that is this week's edition of Astronomy Trivia. Let's go and close out and let me say my final stuff. Alright guys, so before I officially close out this episode, I just want to say next week should be regular song and dance, regular podcast. Excuse me, I burped and hiccup at the same time. Regular podcast episode. But yeah, hopefully I do not get sick next week or get more allergies that really mess up my throat and don't really allow me to talk. So yeah, that's all I've got. And with that being said, this is Michael signing off.